Ooh, check out that book stand on Michael Fairplay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Blast and Stash It. Mike, you are on the intro today if that's what you have your hand raised for.
No, what are you talking about, Michael Fairplay?
We'll talk about it here in a minute. It's in Strange Adventures. This is Blast and Stash It. This is the first time catching our show. What we do is we buy the books that come out on Comic Book Monday. We give them a read. We blast the books we hate. We stash the books we love. And we definitely give spoilers. So this is a review show. Just a heads up. If you don't want to listen to how crappy the book is or a plot point given away, definitely be aware of that. But before we jump into where is my stuff, I'm so lost on my keyboard today. Go check us out on Teespring. We got some cool shirts like the Thunderlust shirt. Oh, I did not add it on here yet. Let me add it on here real quick. Or you can go check out the Technical Difficulty shirt. I'm gonna find it real quick. Hold on one second, people. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I didn't add it on there already. There it is. Load it up. Or you can check out this limited time this poster you can get right here from the Blasted Special Teespring, Dr. Afro, Galactic Gynecologist. You can go get that poster right now before Disney ends up taking me out back and shooting me in the head for copyright issues. But that was pretty funny. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the books. What limited books we have this week? What's that, Mike?
I am so confused.
So confused on what? What we do here?
Yes.
We read books. We talk about them.
Oh, I'm blasting all my books this week. See,
are you? Is that your whole review?
Sorry, guys. Show's over. Thanks for coming.
We got some comments in the chat already. We have Double S already up in here. What up, Huey, Joey, and Michael, and Superior Hero Review saying what's up, everybody. Thanks, guys, for jumping in, and we'll go ahead and jump into the book.
Quick, hey guys, what did you pick up this week? Definitely interact with us. I want to know your opinions about the books that we read. If you read them, please let us know. This is interactive, so definitely let us know.
Yeah, if you read a book and you hated it, let us know in the chat. You loved it. Tell us how we're wrong. I don't care. Tell us you love us. Tell us you guys are the best thing review show ever. Before we jump into the books, though, we have been touching on what we've been doing this week, outside other stuff, games or reading or movies we've been watching. I've been trying to find a game to play that's not like my wife plays the heck out of Fortnite. My daughter does too. And I'm not really into it. Huh?
Somebody's playing right now.
Yeah, somebody is. Yeah. I think it was my daughter. So I've been trying to find a game. I'm getting so pissed off at Call of Duty. So I'm trying to find another game to play that's not so like you jump into it and play it and not have to worry about it. So I've been playing a game called My Friend Pedro. I don't know if anybody else has played that.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw you playing that. I mean,
it's a pretty fun game. It's just I could jump in, play a few levels, shut it off, don't have to worry about it. Kind of reminds me of Deadpool a little bit. There's no dialogue, so to speak. It's just little, the bananas to him. That's about
what's
it.
he doing?
He does sign language too. I don't know how he does it without hands.
Wah, 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 wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah.
What have you been playing or reading besides new comic books, Mike?
I have still been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm almost 80 hours into that game. Still playing Animal Crossing. And today, Last of Us 2 came out. So I jumped into that for a little while tonight. And, yeah.
Are you going to play the Assassin's Creed Viking one that comes out? Valhalla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Can't wait for that one. How was I going to say? I'm so tired. I feel like shit. I look like shit.
Double F saying, tell me to try Candy Crush. I What about you, Joe? What else have you been doing besides new comics?
A lot of work lately. I've had to pull some extra time at work due to this whole Corona thing and the Paycheck Protection Program and the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Programs through the SBA. Been working a lot with that. But for my free time, my organizations, apparently Valhalla has come and everything is, or Ragnarok has come and everything seems to be crashing down there. But we've been fighting that through. But just to keep myself just mentally squared away. Again, like last week, I've been getting into metal casting and I've been kind of thinking about pulling some kind of comic book more themed things, maybe make some small daggers, maybe make some cool guy rings. Been kind of playing with that a little bit, thinking about putting it on the show. I'm not really sure how I feel about that yet. But I definitely want to put some good content out there. So been doing some cool things with metal, made some Damascus stuff today, made a couple of rings, made a small box opener for my hauls and stuff like that. Just been kind of playing around, thinking I might do something where we kind of play with themes of superheroes and put themes into a smaller project. I don't know. I've just been playing with metal, just been banging and melting metal. That's about it.
Wow. I know you showed me a few things in the off air that you've been working on. Looking good, and keep working at it. We'll try to get something cool on here. That'd be awesome. Let's jump into the books. I think I want to jump into it's going to be my stash of the week. Mike said he's blasting all his books this week, but I know you read it, so I'm assuming he's blasting it. And it's Dark Knight's Death Metal #1.
Oh, we're starting with the big one, right?
Yeah, we're going to start with the big one. Yeah, we're going to start this thing off with a bang. So, Dark Knight, Death Metal #1. This is stash. I read this thing twice. I absolutely loved it because it had so many other characters. It had Sergeant Rock, it had Jonah Hex, it had Lobo, all these great characters that are kind of in the side. They don't have big parts in it yet. Sergeant Rock character was great at the beginning time, but you take that turd burger and you cram it down that guy's throat, along with those turd curly fries. You know, that whole thing was cool. And then you have the cool zombie Batman that Batman does, is controlling. And I love how it's tying in all these other storylines. Perpetua, Batman Who Laughs. I think they're even tying some stuff with Swamp Thing not being the leader of the Green anymore because he's just like pretty toast. It's tying in the Button. So it's doing a whole bunch of stuff into this book, which I think is really good. And I'm actually able to follow this one a little bit better than the first Dark Knight's Metal that they put out, like 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. So that is definitely my stash of the week. Capullo art and Snyder on the writing. It's a stash for me.
How do you feel about the chainsaw?
Chainsaw, that was pretty damn awesome. I love the thing.
You
don't like a chainsaw?
I thought that was dumb as shit.
Oh, man, I love the whole thing about melting down the invisible jet to use as armor and weapons and they can't detect it. Freaking, I thought that was awesome. I love that. What about you, Joe? So, since we know Mike's opinion on it already.
Well, no, let Mike give his opinion. Let him go out there. Run with it, brother. What did you think about it?
It wasn't bad, but I felt the same way about the first one, too. I was so fucking lost. It's a soft stash. I like the Batman dinosaur. You know, all the Batman Swamp Thing's a fucking burning piece of fucking shit. Lobo, I'm so tired. Lobo's in it. He finds something in space. Yeah. I'm going to keep reading it. I'm not blasting it. But it's not my pick of the week. Fair.
What about you, Joe?
I liked it. I've been following the Perpetua story through DC anyway, so I got the connection immediately. If you didn't follow the Perpetua story, yeah, I could see where you might have a little bit of problem with this book. There was a time where, and I forced my way through it. A lot of that was garbage. But it was really cool to kind of see this tie-in. But however, I was not watching or reading the new tie-in from Watchmen either. So now we have the DC crowd that's kind of split right now, right? You had some people that went this way and some people that went that way, and then bam, we just got funneled into this death metal story. So I could see the confliction on it. But I'll be honest with you, I think I'm ahead of the game because I read the Perpetual story and that crisis event that happened over in DC. I read it. I enjoyed it. I didn't mind the chainsaw. It wouldn't make sense to me. Seriously, dude, it's 2 minutes. You spoke longer than me. I don't think it would have made much sense if you didn't explain the story, even though it was a lot of dialogue. The art's not my cup of tea, but I don't judge art. It is what it is. But I'll be honest with you. How are you going to have death metal and not have a chainsaw involved? So it's a stash for me.
Yeah, I thought the whole thing was good. Like I said, I love how it's tying everything together and kind of taking all these stories. I mean, we've been waiting how long for a tie-up with the Button and Doomsday Clock and all that stuff. And I think this is what's paying off for that. Now, I have not been following the Perpetua, like the Justice League and all that stuff, but I kind of know what's going on. I haven't been reading the books. So I know that she's a big player in the game.
Plus, I reviewed them on the show.
Yeah, plus you're reading on the show. So we got a couple people in the chat saying Samuel Davis said he really liked death metal. Double S said death metals was a stash for him as well.
Now, I'll show this. I because it's death metal, I did get the shiny cover.
Oh, yeah.
You got to get that one. But then I was able to get my hand on this one. Boom. I can't beat Batman.
Let me blow you up there. Hold on a sec here.
Heavy metal guitar. That is just awesome. I love this cover. And I'm not, I swore I would not be a cover buyer. I swore I wouldn't. But when he pulled this out and he was like, I got this behind the stage. Do you want it? I know you don't buy covers anymore. I know that's not your thing. And I was like, how do you turn this cover down? Like, you can't say no to it. Like, I saw he had the other two as well, and I was like, I'm not buying all three. Okay. And my wife was standing next to me and she was like, yeah, you might want to just cover buy. I know it's such your thing, but that's going to get framed and put on a wall because it kind of reminds me of the YouTube videos with the Bat Metal guy going, death,
yeah,
Batman, kind of reminded me of that. I love those cartoons, so I bought it.
I grabbed that Wonder Woman cover too. I think is it Matina?
Yeah.
Yeah, I grabbed that cover too.
What covers did you all get in the chat room? Let us know.
How many variant covers did that book have this week? I mean, it had,
as far as I knew, it had the three
covers you can buy cover price.
Superman, but I do believe, and please correct me in the chat. I believe there was and they had the shiny, and then they had the trade dress. So, whatever, 5. But I do believe, and I haven't been on the site lately, but I thought I saw something where one of the dealers that I deal with, one of their stores had an exclusive that was a virgin variant with all 3 of them kind of rocking out heavy metal style. I don't know. I can't confirm that. It just seems like I saw that. I may be wrong. Maybe Comic Mint or something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure there are probably plenty of other.
If not, the second print will definitely have it. I promise you that.
Sammy David said he just got the shiny cover. He's trying to stay on budget. He was just done talking. Put the sign down.
Sorry.
Sir, I will not be censored. This is America.
What about you, Mike? What's your first book you want to talk about tonight? Start us out. Get us going.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Double S did mention, and he was correct. There was also a 6th cover that was the black and white variant of the shiny cover, and that's apparently nice. He got that. I definitely want to recognize that because I saw that as a variant too. Cool cover. Normally I like the black and whites, but I had to go with the 90s shiny. Sorry.
What about you, Mike? What did you think?
So we'll go with first book, Metal Men number 7. I know who the Metal Men are, but I have never read a Metal Men book. So in this one, Army base comes under attack from these dudes called the Missile Men from another planet. The commander calls for the Metal Men, but they don't show up. The Metal Animals do, and they're on the front cover here. They're all right. They're pretty cool. They save the day. Chemo shows up at the end. The animals are pretty cool. It's a stash. I won't buy another one though. But
are they like the Dinobots?
not really.
I'll put you full screen there. Mike, show that cover again. Oh. So I was thinking Dinobots. I didn't pick that one up. I knew it was a key issue because it was their first appearance of the metal pets or whatever you want to call it, metal animals.
Metal animals. Yeah, and they're pretty cool. They, there's a cobra, a tiger, a bulldog, a wolf, a bear with a cigar. The bear has to have a cigar. And
promoting underage smoking.
Well, how do you know the bear is underage?
I don't know. Just weird.
Just smoke.
Yeah.
Do what you want. It's America.
That is going to be worth millions.
Millions. I know I didn't read Metal Men. Joe, you didn't read Metal Men either, did you?
I didn't read this issue. I read the first 3 issues of it, reviewed them on the show, and to be honest, I was kind of into the story, and then it just kind of they tried to placate it into the whole Weapon X thing, and I was just like, okay, yeah, I'm done. Like, there's too much going on here.
Weapon X. Is Metal Men DC though?
Yes.
No, they tried to do like a parallel to. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
They tried to do like a parallel thing to it with Nth Metal. So I was like, yeah, I'm not interested in this.
Okay, then what's your book you want to talk about?
All right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about Batman. Or I'm sorry, no, Superman number 22. So this was a weird book because we keep getting this kind of expectation of a bigger story. And the problem is that we're so interluded with other stories at this point, it's easy to get lost in DC right now when you're dealing with Superman and all this. So if you don't know, Clark Kent outed himself as Superman. If you didn't know, that happened 12 issues ago, but every issue we're being reminded of it. So him and Mongol had a problem. We don't really know why we had a problem other than it's Mongol and he's a douchebag. So they fight it out in space. For some reason, they thought that the gravity on Venus was a big deal. And for 2 superhero beings, it's not. For you and me, it is, because you're a pancake. Done. But whatever. And apparently, somebody at DC doesn't know how things work in the world. Apparently, the UN has a problem because there was a recording of Superman saying, yeah, I'll represent Earth. He was kind of under pressure a couple of issues ago. And now an FBI agent needs to have a talk with Lois Lane because her husband or boyfriend, or they don't make it clear anymore if they're even married. They're just together because they don't refer to themselves as husband and wife at any point. I thought they got married at some point. But in this book, it's different. Whatever. Not going to argue the point. Relax. I'm almost there. Relax. Pocan it. Good sign, by the way.
It's going to be a T-shirt.
That would be cool. So what I found the biggest nuance in here is that really kind of stuck in my craw. A little research would have fixed this. Apparently, the UN has a problem with it, so they send an FBI agent over to it. That's not how that works. Like, legitimately, that's not how that works. So they're basically telling Lois Lane that you and your family can't mess up anymore. Well, if you know anything about politicians or anybody that represents the public, not the case, right? Like there's conflict. That's their thing right now. That's why we have news, because they screw up. So I don't know. It's a blast for me. Cool art in it. And cool battle scenes between Mongol and Superman, like straight action shots. And then we get this, everybody's going to drink coffee. I don't know what it is about comic books and everybody drinking coffee, but that's a thing in here. And it just seemed, it just took too much away from the actual story. Just little sideline BS about, Superman can't represent everybody, but the UN's going to allow it, and we're going to send some rinky-dink FBI agent over. I don't know. Blast. Did anybody else read this in the chat? Let us know now in the chat or tell us in the comment.
Who's the artist on Superman right now?
I'm sorry?
The artist. Who's the artist on Superman?
Some random person I don't care about. I don't know. That's a good question. Well, Bendis is writing it. Go figure. His Memoir and Sinclair are on it too. I don't know who's just doing what. I try to avoid that so I don't have any biases when I read it.
Okay, I'm going to talk about The Grieveling. I know Mike didn't read this. Joe, you probably didn't read it either. By Steve Niles, and art by Damian Worm. So from the get-go, $7.99 for this book, $8.
Yeah, that's a hard blast for me.
It's an indie book. I mean, that's the hard part with indie books. Like they got to put the price up in order to make a profit on it. I get that, but that's a downfall for me. Like, there's only 2 issues in this series. Am I going to pick up issue 2? Probably not, based on that price. But I really want to finish the story up, though. So the whole story is about this girl, their high school girl. She's kind of different. She's an oddball. It's on Halloween. So on Halloween, she goes out to what?
Go ahead. Just review your book. I'm talking with the chat. You go ahead.
Okay. So this weird girl goes out to the cemetery on Halloween because her mom's died. And she's buried in the cemetery. And she's saying, "Hey, Mom, I'm sorry you had to die." Blah blah blah, and putting a flower down. And then she's going around to each tombstone. "Oh, I'm sorry, Miss Smith, you had to die. Oop, here's a flower." And so now the group of kids that come bully her, come into the graveyard, start picking on her. They accidentally kill her by knocking a big tombstone off and crushing her head. The ghost, after the kids leave, they say, "Hey, let's get out of here. We're not going to tell the cops because we're going to go to jail." They leave. The ghosts come out of the ground, including her dead mom, and they say, "We need to give her the power of Grieveling in order to essentially get revenge on these kids that have killed her." And her dead mom's telling her, "No, I don't want you to do that." But she ended up getting the power anyhow. And she had like this monster in here. It doesn't really show the monster's powers too much. It just reveals a little bit at the end. What I do like about this book is the background color. So like there's like an orange, kind of purplish. But as the story progresses, so as the kids are, after she's dead, more red. And then it goes into this deep purple and green when she's given the power and everything. Those colors really pop, and I think they really help tell the story. And it's like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. But again, too, $7.99 cover price on that. That's a hard pill to swallow. I do want to finish it up. I might try to find it, but I don't think I'm going to pay $8 for it. Unfortunately.
What's the size of the comic book again? Show it.
What's this?
Standard.
Yeah, standard size comic book. I mean, it probably has. I think it's more than 32 pages. There are no ads in it at all. So that's
a local thing, or is that a local comic book, or is that?
No, this is by Clover Press. Steve Niles, I've heard of that guy before. Yeah. I don't think I've ever read any of his other books. It's a stash, but it's a blast on the price. That's what I don't like about it. So, I mean, if you're willing to pay $8 for it, it's a decent story, some decent coloring, overall, it's a decent book.
So real quick before we move any farther, apparently #PokeCanIt is a popular thing now. Good job, Mike. That's my new word for blasted. I'm taking it over. Anyway, yeah. So as we go down, Samuel Davis said he'll buy that shirt. That's really great. Other people have said that they haven't been reading Superman for various reasons. Double S says he's too much of a schoolboy to me. I totally get it. I think that's the whole point of Superman, to constantly walk the line of being virtuous and not crossing that line. They always bring that up, especially in the last comic book. And then Samuel David said, and he's referring to your book, he says $7.99. Well, he didn't say, but I'm assuming $7.99 out of his price or out of his budget. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of on that too. If I'm going to pay $7.99, I expect the bigger prestigious books. I may consider it then, but for a new story like that, but thank you for buying it anyway, because that's what we do here. We review things. You can take, you know what? I'm going to come over there and take that sign from you.
I'm gonna have a new T-shirt when we go live next week. It'll be the new Poke It T-shirt.
Doing me doing this, or better yet.
Back to Mike. What else did you read this week?
Let's do G.I. Joe number 272. Really great cover here with some of the classics on there. And in this one part starts the story, The Snake Hunt, Part 1.
Is it the start or is it? I don't think that's the start of Snake Hunt. Is it the start of Snake Hunt? Because I've been reading Snake Hunt.
Hold on.
What part is it? Because I reviewed a couple of them up here for Snake Hunt, and I was really getting into it, and nobody had it up here. But if you're telling me that's issue number 1 for Snake Hunt, I'm about to go have a fight with my comic book guy. Not to interrupt the show, but, clarity is important.
Let's see here. I thought... Dun, dun, dun.
Me too, Samuel David. I couldn't find Snake Hunt in mine. And I enjoyed it.
It might not be part 1. Oh, sorry, part 7.
Okay, I thought so. All right, because I got up to like 5, and like my comic books just stopped doing it. So I'm really excited to hear this review. Go ahead, man.
No, it makes a lot more sense now. I thought it was number 1. I was like, well, why is Snake Eye? Basically, Dr. Mindbender and Cobra Commander are trying to get Snake Eyes to join Cobra, and all the classic Joes are in it. They're teaming up with Destro, Zartan. I don't know. I got to go back and get the other ones because this was pretty good. So
yeah, you got to, because it's not the Snake Eyes we all know. Because if you look at the cover, Snake Eyes,
right.
And it's not the female. It's actually a guy who can talk now. He just refuses to talk. It's a great storyline, no doubt. I don't want to take your review away, but we got to update people. It's a great story. Like, it's legit G.I. Joe.
Yeah, all the it ain't. Remember that G.I. Joe that came out before the plague, with the new G.I. Joe. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I read the G.I. Joe series. Snake Hunt started before COVID, and I read a couple of issues.
The G.I. Joe that started off again with number 1.
Yeah, that garbage one. Yeah, with the guy in the rope pad. Yeah, that was garbage.
This is good stuff.
I also like that cover because if you look at the cover down there, they have a little board, and they kind of gave homage to the 3 G.I. Joes that died. Am I correct?
Quick Kick down here.
Yeah, and who's the other 2?
Snow Job?
No. I know it doesn't look like Snow Job. It looks more like Blow Job.
Yeah, you wish. That Beachhead in the center? Who's in the center?
Hey, blow it up. Let's show the crowd, because it's actually interesting, because this actually happened in comic books in the IDW run. So you have Snake Eyes, who died, the original Snake Eyes. You had Quick Kick, and then you had another character. Who is the other character? There's your trivia. Let's throw it out there.
I don't know who that is.
By the way, it's not Lady J and it's not Scarlet. So those two are out the door. If you've been reading Snake Hunt, you would kind of know because they kind of updated you on G.I. Joe because it was a launch of a new story. Very great story. IDW has taken what? Okay, I don't know how to say all of us because I don't know how many people are going to watch this, but I know this group. A lot of us know G.I. Joe from the 80s. We remember the original team, and we watched them through the 90s. We've read the comic books. I'm going to tell you right now, they've done a great job with kind of reestablishing the old team, but updating you why some of them aren't there because they died. Legit died. And it's coming off more like a military Sergeant Rock story, which I'm kind of okay with because they still deal with the fantasy of G.I. Joe. And that's the fantasy of G.I. Joe in the military aspect of it. It's fun. That's what makes it fun. I thought they've done a great job, and it kind of depressed me that I had to drop it because my comic book store dropped it. And the truth is, with this show coming on Friday night, I just didn't see any point. So I'm trying to get everything through my comic book shop. And I don't want to tell my comic book guy to order. And please tell us in the chat if you find this problem too. You know, you kind of feel bad if you're like, hey, order me such and such, and then the story turns into crap, right? And you're like, and you forget to tell the comic book guy that you don't want it anymore, and you got to do it in so much advance, but you don't know what's going to happen in the story. How do you deal with that at some point? Even if you have something in your comic book box and you're like, man, he was not supposed to order that. How do you deal with it? Put your sign down. I'm ignoring your sign. And trust me, we're going to get comments on this one, guys. Let us know how you deal with it.
Real quick, before they jump into the next book, and give a shout out to Rogue City Comics. So I've been working with them. They're doing like a pull list where I'm going to be doing just an audio podcast. They're giving me a blind bag of books. I'm going to be opening the books, talking about them, and picking like 5 books out of their review. This would be a middle of the run. These are maybe books I never even thought of looking at. So this is the stack of books they sent me for $10 this week. So I've already recorded the audio. Which books are here? I'm going to be picking 5 out and talking about those in a podcast. I said just the audio. And another shout out for them. So Rogue City Comics actually got nominated for a Will Eisner Retailer Spirit Award. So that's pretty awesome right there.
At the end of the show, because I know they've sponsored our show before. I know we've been they've literally put in their comic book shop a blaster stash and pick. So thank you guys for that. We really appreciate it. If you want me to review a couple of comic books, I'm happy to do it. Okay.
Maybe I have somebody got to send you. So that was, we just talked about G.I. Joe. Thinking about G.I. Joe, Mike, I know you sent out in our private chat that Mike Mayhew Baroness cover. Did you get that today?
I did not.
It was sold out.
I tried.
Yeah.
I tried. There was her in the evening gown dress, and then there was another one in a white outfit with the red cobra.
Yep.
I tried both of them.
Yep, sure. I tried. I totally spaced. I was going to set an alarm today to make sure I got in and to go get it, and I totally spaced it until I got an email about it, and by that time they were all gone.
That was a hot cover. That I would have bought off market. Real quick, in the chat right now, we got Samuel David. He's being active with us. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. I've always added things and taken things off my poll. I just tell them I don't like it anymore. Take it off. I think they used people to adding the taking off. Yeah, they're used to that kind of thing. I get it. But what happens when you get we got to take care of our comic book shop people, right? That's our responsibility as comic book people. But the truth is, where do you draw the line? I think during COVID, a lot of us felt guilty because, we're used to, I was spending 15, 20 books a week. That was my thing. COVID hit, but we don't want to see our comic book shop suffer. So what did you do to help support your comic book shop? It's what I kind of was thinking. Where were you at? Were you buying dollar bin books? I know my comic book guy, he was just happy that I would come in, pick up a couple of dollar books, and just talk to him. Like, just have a conversation, because that's how empty it would be during the day. And Wayne Zeno of Zeno's books, Mike's met him. He's generally he's a nerd. Like, he likes what we like. So, what did you kind of do to help give some points out there, whatever the case may be?
And all of our stores, I know, have remained open through this whole thing, whether it be curbside pickup or so. I know my comic shop owner, guys wouldn't their pull boxes, some of them were full and they wouldn't come pick up their shit, so he put a kibosh on them. So
were you asking all of us what we were doing, or are you asking the chat what they were doing during
the chat? Whoever wants to have to come. The truth is, we don't have that many books this week, and we got an hour-long show. Just trying to keep us at an hour for everybody. Also, Captain Dadpool says, podcast of you guys would be cool. We have a podcast, don't we?
Yeah, we have the podcast. Yeah, we have the audio from this show that's on the podcast. There are a couple other things on there as well. I did one with my wife where we read Paper Girl. Yeah. And then we have one other one with the guy from God, what was the name of that dang story we read? We interviewed him too.
Buffy. Huh? We've done quite a few.
No, this was one of the first ones we did with a guy with a Canadian Mountie.
Jack Steele.
Yeah. That
was a good podcast. I thought that guy was really cool, and he had he had a legit comic book. It was kind of cool. By the way, if you know any local creators in your area, and you're like, hey, you want to talk to 500 people, because 500 is a lot of people. Come on, Blazer, stash it.
What do you want to talk about next, Joe? Do you think you're up? Yeah, you're up.
No, I just got the sign. Give it the mic.
I'm showing my creation.
Give it the mic.
Okay, let's talk about Strange Adventures. This is Tom King being all Tom King throughout the whole freaking book. We have Michael Fairplay, with his little robot asking these obscure questions, and we're trying to show how smart Michael Fairplay is throughout the whole thing. That was ridiculous, I thought. I love the part with what's his name? Strange. Duh. The story with him and his wife and the backstory going through the desert and their jetpack failing. That stuff was great. I could do without the Michael Fairplay, especially, I'm going to zoom this in here, especially the Michael Fairplay book stand. We don't need to see that. We don't need to see his book resting on his junk, laying in bed.
Whatever, you saw his booty in it.
So I was like, what in the hell is that? So I'm going to end up picking this whole series up. I know it because I love Mr. Miracle. I love Tom King on that run. I'm hoping this is going to pull out and pull a whoa, careful
his
there.
His book would fall.
Yeah, his book would fall. Jeez, that just went off the rails completely. I'm hoping it's going to pick up and end in a way like Mr. Miracle did. That's my hope for it. But really, Tom King needs to quit doing Tom King shit, with a lot of this stuff. This is a blast for me. Like I said, I'm going to pick him up. But yeah, what'd you think of Strange Adventures, Joe?
Hey, Mike, what did you think of Strange Adventures? I don't know what's going on with this writer. Mr. Terrific is a great comic book character. Is he an A-list character? No, he is not. He's kind of right there with Brewster Gold. Really, you should have done a team up with them two. Adam Strange's been around since the golden age of comic books. It's an established character well before DC was even made. And what you have done at this point is you did exactly what you did with Batman. You took an iconic person that you have a great, like I know you have a great story in his big brain. And what you did is you were like, yeah, it's a great story, but guess what? Mr. Terrific, and here's why. And it's like the entire time, it's so presumptuous at this point that the man is perfect at everything to the point to where he can be asked random trivia questions. And I don't know if anybody else caught this, and please comment in the box. He literally has to ask the computers that are flying around him, the little balls. He's got flying balls. He literally has to ask me a question I don't know. Immediately I picked up with, oh, they're asking you questions you know.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Right? Like somebody has to program technology. So apparently you just programmed a bunch of, at this point, this is my thinking, you just programmed a bunch of things to ask you a bunch of random questions you already knew. Good job. Or you just took everything that was great about you and you just dumped it. Now, maybe I'm being facetious or maybe I'm even being condescending at this point. But the truth is, at the end of the day, the story's not about Mr. Terrific or why he should take on this case to find out if Adam Strange is legit. The truth is, the story in this is the side story. And this is what happened with Batman. This is why he was taken off Batman and thrown over to Adam Strange. And the bad thing about that is the only reason why you read Batman is because they kept you on a cliffhanger. The truth is they're trying to keep you on a cliffhanger with a character that's not that popular. I think somebody's about to be out of a job. I don't know. It's bad. I'm gonna keep picking it up because I'm truly I'm a legit fan of Adam Strange. I have Golden Age, early Silver Age, Adam Strange stuff. I will pick this up. It's like the question for me. If it's there and it's in sequence, I will pick it up. I'll keep picking this up like I did with Batman. But is it good? No. And as long as it's bad, I will keep calling it bad. When somebody, throw up the sign, Mike.
Captain Dadpool asked if the podcast was on Spotify. I might be on Spotify. I know it's on Apple. I know it's on Google Play. It's on quite a few different podcasting services. So just search for Blaster Stash. You should be able to find it. I think I have it on 5 or 6 different podcasts.
We're on so much stuff. We're making so much bank. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's how I'm able to buy this $8.99 book. I want to talk about this. I want to talk about Wonder Woman Dead Earth number 3. This, I like the first one. You know, the whole premise is that Wonder Woman has been woken up after, I think, a couple hundred years. The world has been destroyed, and she has no memory of it, so she's trying to slowly get that memory back. In this book here, she leaves the people she saved in the first one because she feels like, and the people think she's betrayed them, but she's trying to get her memory back on what happened. And we find out that the humans essentially didn't care about the Earth, so they were destroying it. Wonder Woman tried to go in and be that person to help say, no, hey, we need to be able to save it. But humans decided to bomb everything, essentially. Superman's in there trying to protect the humans from the Amazons. Because he does that, he actually destroys Themyscira. But Wonder Woman doesn't know this till she gets to the Fortress of Solitude, and she sees that Superman is dead on his throne up there. And then she gets her memory back, realizes she is the one that killed Superman. She took kryptonite, crammed it in his chest. He died on his throne. And what's crazy about this is the very, very end. She's in tears. She's trying to figure out, why she did this. She killed one of her friends. And she lays him to rest down on this table down after she realized what she's done, and she's going to go protect the humans, try to save the world. She rips his spine and Skull out of his body, and then she runs her lasso of truth through the spine and through the skull of Superman. And I guess maybe that's her new weapon. And I literally,
That's weird.
I need this book.
And I got to that page. I'm like, I was reading it downstairs before the show tonight, and my wife was sitting there, and I said, "Holy crap!" And she goes, "Oh, that good?" And I said, I just explained to her what had happened about Wonder Woman ripping the spine and skull out of Superman, and now using it as a new weapon. Holy crap! Literally, holy crap. The art in this is it's okay. It's not the best. Who is the artist? Johnson. Daniel Warren Johnson is the artist and writer on this. I mean, overall, it's good though. I like this alternate world stuff, the Black Label stuff. This definitely is Black Label with the whole skull and everything. So definitely a stash for me. I'm looking forward to book 4. I mean, I think these are $10 a piece. So that's the only downside to it. I mean, it's a prestige format, $10. But overall, it's been a pretty good story. I definitely enjoy it.
I didn't even know 2 came out because I loved the first one.
Yeah, I had to pick up number 2 as well. And read that. So
real quick to hit the chat. Spectacular Spider Cramball came in there and said some things. I didn't think about that. Says Edmund Davis. We're talking about back to the why the balls were floating around. Double S says Huey. Forgot MySpace as well. Laugh out loud. Apparently you're a little behind on your technology, Slick. No, I'm joking. Also, Double S made a comment, and it's something that I have said before, and I can't. I'm surprised he actually remembers it. Are you Pocan or are you Pocant? And I always say my name is Pocan, not Pocant. So that is really cool, man. Big kudos that you even knew that. That's awesome, man. Thanks.
I'm seriously going to work on a shirt tonight, and I'll post it on Teespring. And I've already got a background. I have already got it in my mind on what I want to do. So I'm going to be working on it tonight, and we'll have a new to talk about.
You're the artist, man. Our viewers, our faithful viewers, always come up with the best solution. So make sure you give them a shout out for it. They have the best stuff ever. So thank you all.
Oh, Mike, what do you want? We want to talk about? You got two books left, don't you, Mike?
I actually have 3.
Oh, we'll talk about one of them 3.
All right, let's talk about a book that no one should ever pick up. It's Young Justice.
You're gonna go hard. Here we go.
I love my team books. I love the Avengers, X-Men, but do you know how many people are on the goddamn Young Justice team? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's like a whole slew of these guys.
It's not the Legion of Superheroes, though, to be honest.
No, yeah. And some of them, I guess Robin's now Drake. Sideways is on this team. Teen Lantern. Did you guys know there was a Teen Lantern?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a whole planet of lanterns.
No, a teen. Like
the little African American girl. Yeah.
That's racist.
Yeah. How's that racist? It doesn't get any more social justice than that.
She's damn racist.
Look, I'm already dealing with that BS. Go on someplace else with it.
Maybe because I haven't been reading them and I picked this up just, lack of options, but this is a blast for me. You learn where the Superboy came from. That's about it. And you get to, yeah.
Did him and Superman figure it out and Batman was involved because he's randomly there?
No, something with Flash fucking up some time thing, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, back to the paradox thing. You know what you do when this always drives me crazy with writers. You get so involved in a story with the sideline of a story that you tend to forget your main story. And that's what happened there because when I was reading Superman in the last issue or a couple of issues ago, they were trying to figure out what he was. I reviewed it on the show here, and I was like, why is this even a question? He's a clone. We all know there's no real backstory, but they made up some bullshit backstory just to make some connection to another line. That's kind of annoying at this point.
Yeah, I mean,
what do you all think?
Is it the same Superman or Superboy that's in what's the one you're reading, Joe? It's you read it last week, I think.
His is
no, that's actually
Legion of Superheroes.
Connor Kent.
That's the one in Legion is the Superboy from Super Sons.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's Connor Kent. So you have Connor Kent, and then you have Jonathan Kent. Jonathan Kent went off after 4 days of hanging out with his family after being in space for 20 years. He rolled out to Legion of Superheroes. And now all of a sudden we're dealing with this Connor Kent kid, and then all of a sudden the family from Superman's storyline, current, kind of sort of remembers him. And I was like, because there was some time paradox thing that kind of hinted to that. His story picked up on that, and man, I'm legitimately paraphrasing, and it's complicated. It's not the point of a comic book. It's gotten so convoluted at this point. He's a clone. Done. That was always the storyline before. Now it's a paradox thing. Like, how are you supposed to get behind like Batman? Batman's only changed slightly over the years. This cat is like every other year, he's got some other backstory at this point. So you can't really get behind it. He's got a leather jacket. He's cool. We always make that a point. Do we care? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Comment.
Okay, Joe, what else you want to talk about?
I only got 2 more books, so let's go ahead and go with something I stashed, because I can be kind of rough on books. So I've really been enjoying these upshot things. I was really upset last week that I could not get the Archangel one because I couldn't get Hotel. But I was able to get Resistance. Hey, if you want to know what X-Men was like before they were X-Men, what started the whole mutation thing without all the backstory, pre-story, and all that stuff, let's just say it happened all of a sudden, this is probably the most common sense thing you would go with. They're keeping the story very clean, very cut. In this issue, we find out, yep, of course, there's a portion of the government worldwide, it's through the UN, that kind of have a problem with all these people that just all of a sudden show up with superpowers. Apparently, there was a great death because there was a pandemic, and the people that didn't die from it, about 50% of them became mutants. We can estimate that. They kind of hinted that in the dialogue, which was super great. It made sense instead of just some random event. And then you explain genetics without understanding genetics. They just said, hey, you know what happened? There's a gene, an RH gene. As society moved forward, we're supposed to be smarter. So there was a mutation in the RH gene within every human being. If you have the RH gene, then guess what? You were getting superpowers. How awesome would that be? So it's like Corona happened, but killed a lot more people. And some survived it through just physical strength and will. And then the other ones mutated into strength. So we have a superpower team now. We have an origin story. And we actually have a storyline that makes sense. It just randomly happened. They're legitimately explaining it. In the next issue, we're going to find out who our superheroes are. We're going to find out who our villains are. Government agencies, going to be the villain, but there should be a superpowered one too. That will hit soon. I think we have some exciting things happening here. If you're bored with everything else going on right now because they're just placating to you and you feel like you're just reading the same garbage, I would go over to this upshot stuff. It's if we could get these guys on the show, it's definitely a stash for me. I think they're smart. I think they're being innovative, but they're telling us a story that we kind of know or we can relate to. But they're not playing down to us. They're not playing up to us. They're just telling us good stories. And I really like this publishing company. I think they're doing a good job. Again, I didn't get two of their comic books. And like, I was legitimate. Most of the time, I don't care. I'll read whatever. But when he was like, yeah, we didn't order those last week, and I'm not getting them this week. And I was like, dude, I need something from up there. Like, legitimately fill my itch. I've never been a heroin addict over a comic book. I've been enjoying this, and it's my pick of the week. It's legitimately awesome. It's good. It's just starting.
If I had $1 for every time you say legit,
You'd make $4.
I could buy Hulk 181.
No, you'd make $4. That's a hard one to get for me.
That's legit.
Oh, you're talking privately on the air when we're talking to comic books? No, I usually blast stuff. That's why I'm here. But privately, oh yeah, that's legit. That's my common saying.
I've been listening. I'm gonna pop this up here. Let's see who Jocko Podcast. He's a former Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
I've been listening to his podcast lately too, and he just had an episode talking about legit and where that term comes from with leadership, and talking about legitimate leadership versus not real leadership. That's kind of interesting. Okay, his stuff's kind of cool too because he does not necessarily military, but he adds military to it. So, but he has some good life lessons in there too. I mean, not to go off on a tangent about other podcasts, but
Jocko is a. I've met Jocko twice. He is a legit military leader, and I'm going to get kind of off track from comic books for a second. But I'm going to do it. Look, it's easy to get guru advice from people, legit. But Jocko is a guy who brings it to reality. It's legit.
There's $3 for you, Mike. $3 more for your Hulk 181, and I'm gonna keep a tally on that. I will, and I'm gonna see how long it's gonna take you to get a 181. So tonight, I'm just gonna start right there. We have 3 from.
All right, hey chat, definitely keep us on board. We'll call this hashtag Mikey Legit Fun, so he can get a Hulk 181. So that's another one, by the way, and I'll support it. We'll see how long this takes. And by the way, if you wish to contribute to that, by all the means, say the word, and let's figure this out. Let's get Mikey a Hulk 181.
I'm not talking about a book I'm going to blast. I'm sorry, and that is a man among ye.
What?
Oh yes, this is such a blast. I don't know. It's not National Talk Like a Pirate Day, but this is a turd. And this is seriously all I can think about is Pirates of the Caribbean. And it really wasn't much different than that. Although he has this female first mate that's also his lover, I guess. I mean, they kind of hinted at that. They never really went full bore with it. And they have a stowaway from a British ship they had taken down. And they say it's a young boy. We find out it's a girl. It didn't surprise me in any way. I knew where it was going right from the beginning. I did not like it at all. Even the main character, the main pirate's name is Jack, isn't it? Isn't it Jack?
It's actually. Well, go ahead.
But yeah, this is a blast for me. I'm sorry. I did not like it. It's a turd. Mike or Joe, whoever would like to go forward.
Go ahead, Mike, because it's the end of the night, and I'm going to eat up the last of the time being Dopey's side.
I love this book. That's all. You told the main story. I mean, I'm looking forward to. She's gonna take this young girl under her wing and train her and do some killing and some piratey stuff. And I'm excited. This was my pick of the week.
Wow, really? Pick of the week?
Pick of the week. She's hot,
Week.
and I like they're going back to having a woman on a boat is bad luck, which
And you were in the Navy, so you kind of
I mean, even when I was on the tugboat for 10 years, we didn't no women on the boat.
That's because there's a lot of tugging going on. That's why there was tugging.
Some captains out there are real strict about that. If your wife came down, she was not allowed on the boat.
Or does she have to tug all the guys off?
Quite possibly.
I'd be very careful because if this is the one show that his wife decides to watch, Huey, she will fuck you up. I've met his wife. She will.
Guess what? There's no place for Dave to stay if he decides to come to Baltimore Comic-Con.
But yeah.
Okay, what about you, Joe? What'd you think of A Man Among the...
I'm going to split the difference here. This is one of the ones where none of us are going to agree on it. I'm kind of in the middle on this one. Is the book predictable? When I saw the kid and saw the storyline, I was like, okay, that's a girl. I even said it out loud to my wife. And she goes, oh, you don't know. And then I showed her the page, and now she's mad at me because I predicted it correctly, because that's how marriage works. But I will say this. First off, it's very graphic. I really liked seeing pirates being pirates. There's no hesitation to stick a knife through the neck or stick a sword through this or watching a bullet thing. It's a graphic comic book. But the kid being a woman, I predicted that right up off the bat because you have a strong female lead. There needs to be some sort of motherly role. Like, you need to roll that. I get it. Where do I go from here? And this is the only rule, if the comic book store has it, I'll pick it up. That's where I'm at. And my comic book shop works off of popularity. So we may get a 1, we may get a 2. It's going to ultimately depend on the market. I've decided to kind of change my view to market. I'm not going to say it. I didn't say it. Put it down. However, I will also say this. The interesting thing about this, I'm going to go throw this out there. I'm going to nerd out a little bit. Calico Jack is an actual pirate. He was a legit pirate that went up and down the Virginia, Chesapeake Bay coast all the way. Yeah, I did say
Did he say legit there?
I did say it that time. So is it, where were we at? 5, 6? Whatever. Tell me at the end of the show. But he was a pirate that went up and down the coast of the Chesapeake Bay all the way down to Nags Head. The same course that Blackbeard the pirate faced. And there was even reputation, according to historical Wikipedia and other sources that I went into, because I have a thing for pirates. I like pirates. I like Vikings. Reading more into this, there's been speculation, because there was no written record of it, that he was actually a crewman of Blackbeard the pirate. So that's kind of cool. It's a little history in our area here in Virginia, being on Chesapeake Bay, heading down to the Nags Head area. That was really cool to learn that. It was something to look up. So it's interesting in that aspect. So right now, where am I at? I think I'm just more interested in the piracy of it than I am the actual storyline. We've seen this storyline. Woman's going to take care of young lady. She figured out it was a young lady. Everybody else is super stupid on the boat. I feel this is going to turn into a blasphemy very quickly. But if the writer is legit, you have a great storyline, you can have some fun with this. I didn't say legit, did I?
You did.
You
did.
I did not say. Well, every time I read the sign, I say it. So, okay. You're not getting a Hulk 181 before me. Sorry, I'm not. I'll watch it. But I'll legit say, go ahead, throw a sign up. That's the sign you need to hold up. I like the story for the piracy of it. If you like Captain Jack Sparrow, you're going to like Calico Jack. And I have a feeling in the next few issues they may kill him because we need.
Well, they were talking about a mutiny. So.
Yeah, they were talking about the mutiny, and they were talking about killing him and her. But I got a feeling that we're going to get a very hey, look, the comedy has gone because he adds a little flair and Jack Sparrow to it. Once they kill the guy that brings the humor, at that point it's just I'm a woman, and at that point the story's disinteresting to me. The character does not have any personality traits to them that surprise me. That's horrible to say in today's day and age. But to be honest, good storytelling, you got to have faults, you got to have limits, and you got something interesting to you. We'll see what happens in the next 3 issues.
You said you really like pirates, Joe? Did you go to the pirate booth at Dallas Comic Con or Dallas Fan Expo?
Oh, you talking about the gay pirate you're hanging out with and interviewing? No, I didn't talk to them.
I got one of their books. I bought one of their books.
I bought one too because the guy's he's a good barker. Like I don't know if you all used to carny turns, but he's a barker and he was good at it. Like he told a story, so it was legit.
Do you remember the names of the books?
Poot Shoot in my butt.
No, just semen in my poop deck was number 1.
I knew it was something vulgar.
And number 2 was 2 fingers in the dike. Number 3 was my jewels are stuck in a vice admiral. I think something like that.
That's pretty legit.
It's pretty scary that you know all this.
Well, you read it. Remember, we have a video on our website with you reading a little portion of it. My wife told me, she goes, you bought gay porn. And I said, no, I did not. It's erotica, please. It's a
gay porn, erotica.
That's a big difference.
This sounds very legit.
I've gone off on this tangent about pirates. Let's do a quick lightning round. I've only got 2 books left. This one I was kind of looking forward to because I do like the writer James Tynion the fourth. He's on Batman now, so I was really looking forward to this. But this is Wind. The turd. I didn't like it at all. Mike said he liked it. Then we were talking on the off air. I didn't like it. I didn't like the art. I didn't like the story. It just did not do anything for me. And then the last book I got was Question Death of Vic Sage number 3. This is all about a gumshoe. I mean, in this issue, he's all like the 1930s, 1940s gumshoe. He's trying to help out, but it keeps popping back to the West. It keeps popping back to different times, so it's still a big mystery. The priest shows up in here, though. It showed up in the first one. So if you like, if you like the gumshoe kind of detective thing, this is what you're going to love. It was okay. I'll pick up number 4. I definitely want to finish that out because I've been picking up all those prestige Black Label books. So those are my books for Lightning Round. Mike Kelly had 1, I think, left for Lightning Round, right? And that was the Wind.
Wind. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I liked the art. About forbidden magic and the guy's gay for another guy. I don't know. He has to hide the fact that he's an elf. And I guess he's magical. He's legit magical.
Legit. You don't get to use that word and add another $1 to your 181 fund.
I didn't say it.
Yeah. Check it out. It's not for everybody. I'm going to pick up the second issue. There's a dog here. Okay, never mind. Wind. Stash. Let's go. Let's roll this.
What about you, Joe? Anything lightning round for you, or is that was it, huh?
That's it for me.
That's it for you.
It's very rare that I have the least amount of comments.
Yeah. Anything else before we bounce out of here? I just taken off one of my little notes off my laptop there.
I would like to say real quick, Mike, by all means, throw up the sign. We'll go ahead and help us out keeping the special word fund. I will happily pay $1 for every time the special word is said. But we need your help because I know I've said it 4 times, so I owe some money.
What's your count at?
It's at 7 right now.
7.
7.
I'll go with 7. Yeah, you can take a shower, Bubba. So
I don't know. That went off on a tangent.
Sorry, I was sidetracked. So keep us on track with this. We'll make this the magical word like Pee-wee's Playhouse. The truth is, at the end of the day, I still have my auction money that I ran not too long ago, and I still owe. Well, I have his funds for it, so I'll just make it up as I go, and they'll be okay with it. Also, I just want to hit the chat real quick. Hey guys, thank you all very much for coming by. We do appreciate it. We do enjoy interacting with you. Real quick to run down the chat real quick. Huey, let me make sure I'm at the right spot. Okay. Are you Pocan or Pocant? We got that. Oh, Mikey's Magical Word Fund, also known as #PocanIt. That's really cool. Thank you guys for interacting with that. We'll try to do something fun with it. I don't know. Again, at my own channel, I'm thinking about taking more comic book themed things and making inspirations from it. I really like comic books. I like their stories. I want to be able to create something from that with my hands. And I want you to experience that. If we decide to do something over at Blasted Session where you can see it too, we'll work on it if you find it interesting. Other than that, I just want to say I appreciate Mikey for reminding me that sometimes I ramble, because I do ramble. And, of course, Huey, always a special time. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, we're still planning the Baltimore Comic-Con. If that's still going on, that's in October. So I'm looking to take the flight over to the East Coast to go to Baltimore Comic-Con, maybe do a little road trip with these guys. Go check out Grandpa's lair over there and check out all the Funkos he's got going on, and then maybe take a road trip up to Baltimore Comic-Con. So if you guys are going to Baltimore Comic-Con, let us know. It would be great to hook up with you guys, any YouTubers, anybody out there. It'd be fun to hang out, chit-chat, talk about comics, drink a couple beers or two. And yes, Joe.
So legit, I just made $657 off of an auction that I held on my private site. I didn't say that.
You did.
Okay. Well, keep the count. I'll owe $1. Make a jar already. So we made $657 some odd dollars. I just want people to know that these auctions that I hold, they're not YouTube auctions. It's just private auction, and this money is for these conventions. So if you show up when we say we owe you a beer, we owe you a drink, we owe you a meal, whatever the case may be, that's what that money is for. I'm not pocketing the money. I'm rich. I do what I want. I don't need the change. But I want to be able to bring it back to you guys. So if you're coming to Baltimore, or you're thinking about coming to Baltimore, let us know. We'll do our best because we like our fans.
Yeah, so we're looking at getting an Airbnb in Baltimore and spending a few days there. It's looking to be a good time. I don't know how much we'll actually get out to see Baltimore, but it's still cool to get out and be somewhere.
Yeah, we're there for comic books, cocaine, hookers, and bad decisions.
And Baltimore's known for all three of them.
Also, trash industrial rave clubs.
Sammy wants to know where you hold these private auctions. If you want to throw a link up, if you follow us on Facebook, that's a good segue into that. Follow us on social media, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, all that stuff. We do have a Facebook group, the Blaster Statue group there. We all post stuff there, and everybody posts there. When they have a YouTube channel, it's free reign to post whatever you want. It's kind of a good community. Get out and talk to each other. And it's great to be able to have that community where, like, hey, I'm looking to fill this run. I'm missing these books. You can throw that out there. Maybe somebody might be able to help you out and help fill those runs. Hey, maybe I'll be able to get a gifted to you or a really good price. Definitely, it's a cool place to go check us out. I think everybody has their own Instagram page and Twitter page as well. So definitely go over and check that stuff out. and follow us on all that fun stuff.
Also, since I've been limited tonight, I haven't put out a video this week. I'll put it out tomorrow. But also, the great thing about Blast or Stash It is that's the point of the show. Our Facebook, everything, what you like, what you don't like, it's okay. We're all adults. Definitely tell us, interact with us. Tell us we're wrong. Tell us you agree, whatever the case may be. This is the place where you can express what you think about something. And I think that's very important. I've had a bad week, so I'm probably pontificating. Yes, sir. Legit.
Everything else you want to say before we roll out of here?
No, I am good. I need to get to some sleep. I got to be up soon.
Wait a second.
Go to work.
We're missing a section of our show.
Shut your funko mouth?
Sir, how dare you? It's not your place to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I haven't done one of those in.
Prince of Pops. Hit it. Show us.
I probably woke up Crystal.
Oh, nice. Way to go, Mike.
Shit. She's going to kick your ass.
Show
us real quick. Run it through real quick. It's okay. We're not limited to a time frame. Show us real quick, buddy. What'd you get?
Do you want to see Spider-Man versus Venom? Again, the previews exclusive. Pulled right from the cover of Amazing Spider-Man 3. What is it, 15 or 16? But yeah.
How much was that bad boy? Was that like $25?
This was 35.
Whew.
Jesus Christ.
How much was the child?
The child?
Yeah.
Same price.
Same price.
Same price. Do you want to see the child?
Uh-oh.
Take it to the child.
No,
I got nothing tomorrow, dude. Whatever.
How do you flip the camera in this thing?
I don't know.
You don't. You pick it up and you point it in the direction you want to.
All right. Here we go. There he is back there.
Almost like life size, too.
He's huge.
Huge. Freaking huge. Huge freaking guy.
That's what she said.
You know what movie that's from? Cereal crushed by some huge freaking guy. Okay. Whether you blast it, whether you stash it, happy reading, and we'll catch you guys next week. I'm going to close this bad boy out with this thing. Bye.